As always, as it has been our usual drill, let's just begin with some cricket news. England scored 171. At one stage, it did not even look like that England would cross 150, but due to some low order resistance, England could manage a total in excess of 170, and in response, India did get off to a good start, but then their batters couldn't really get those partnerships. They were stuck in between, specifically the likes of Hardik Pandya and Washington Sundar, and as a result, India could only finish on 145 for 9, losing this match by 26 runs. So the T20I of the series, which is going to be the penultimate match of this 5-match series, is going to take place on Friday in Pune, and the 5th and final T20I, which could possibly be a decider, will take place at the iconic Wankhede Stadium. So sticking with the same India versus England T20I series, Parthiv Patel, the former India keeper batter, was very critical of Hardik Pandya's batting approach in the third T20I at Rajkot. Parthiv Patel said that Hardik Pandya's failure to take those singles or doubles and to rotate strike consistently did not really happen in the third T20I, and that was one of the major reasons why India lost that game. It put a lot of pressure on the other batters to score big, and that's one of the major reasons why India could not really get over the line in the Rajkot T20I. Well, moving on, the opening test between Australia and Sri Lanka at Galle is currently underway. At the time of beginning of this live, Australia had crossed the 100-run mark after losing just one wicket. Australia now have a new opening combination in Usman Khawaja and Travis Head for this series. Travis Head, he's once again opens in the subcontinent conditions after he did that previously against India in 2023, and now against Sri Lanka he hit a quick fire 50 of just 40 odd balls, and it has gotten Australia off to a flying start in the opening test. So remember, it's just a 2-match series and both test matches are going to take place in Galle, and Australia have currently qualified for the World Test Championship final. It's going to be their second consecutive WTC final. They'll face South Africa. So this series, in the context of the WTC points, does not really hold any reliance, but then in case of Australia, they would want to continue the momentum, and for Sri Lanka, they would want to make sure that they finish within the top 3 of the WTC cycle of 2023 until 2025. Well, moving on, the ICC CEO Jeff Allardyce has actually quit his position. He has stepped down just weeks ahead of the Champions Trophy. Well, he wants to move on. He wants to pursue different opportunities, some higher roles or better roles. But then there's a report doing the rounds which basically states that he was basically asked to step down because he did not really provide a clear picture of Pakistan's lack of preparedness for the Champions Trophy and for the blunder and the mess that was created during the ICC T20 World Cup in 2024 that took place in the USA in the Caribbean conditions. So since the time Jay Shah has taken over as the ICC chairman, there have been a plethora of changes within the top cricket board, and it does look like that the ICC will now need a new CEO just weeks before the Champions Trophy that basically begins on February 19th. Well, moving on, in the Under-19 World Cup, as far as the women's cricket is concerned, India have qualified for the semi-finals. They beat Scotland in their previous Super 6 game by a comprehensive margin, and now they are going to take on England in the semi-final that's going to take place on January 31st, that is Friday. Well, India are currently the women's Under-19 world champions. But now let's just see what the newspapers really have to say. There's a bit about the national games that are going to be underway in Dehradun. Well, PM Modi has also said that India are going to push harder to make sure that they host the 2036 Olympics within the country. There's a bit about Virat Kohli also. He is going to take part in Delhi's next Ranji game against Railways that's going to begin tomorrow. That's January 30th. And all the other cricket news that are going to be there from India versus England and across the sporting world. So stay tuned to Sports Today as we'll bring you all the latest updates and analysis from the sporting world. Until then, on behalf of my producer Shivam, it's Siddharth Gulati saying goodbye.